Another beautiful day.
Backyard Central.
This could be famous last words. I want to get these moved. These are pawpaws. And the biggest mistake you could kind of make is like not trusting your gut from the beginning. I wanted to put these in the ground in the beginning. I know that they don't like to be moved around. I think I was at first. I'm like, I want to see what they do in pots first. But the thing is, eventually with pots, you have to prune the roots. Eventually. And also, in which case, pawpaws don't like their roots be messed with. And also, at the same time, you got to think about the taproot of pawpaws, and they don't like that as well, being in a pot. These are doing pretty great. I think this one's going to be easier to move with the type of pot that it's in. The 15-gallon normal size one, not so much. But like I said, they don't like to be moved and messed with, so I don't know how that's going to be. So I'm going to probably think about this for a couple days or so. Has anybody had experience with these guys? What do you guys think? I mean, at this point, I might as well. And again, it's so important to think about what you want to do before it starts, right? Like, these should have went in the ground directly, and obviously they're doing well. They would have been doing well in the ground. So, food for thought. Pretty sure I'm going to do it, though. Broken. Get some topsoil made first. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? This could be a top dressing. What'll likely happen is that these are going to be slightly above grade, so gonna need something for the roots to grow into. Not sure if you saw my Monstera video, but it's gonna be the same kind of concept. Alright, I decided to do it. We're a couple days later. This is what we're kind of looking like, but this is easy. I just pop these off, and roots are exposed. I don't even know what this is that just decided to start growing. That's how my garden works. I just randomly come out here. The things just grow. I don't know what it is. It doesn't look like it's anything negative. I think it knew it. Heard me talking about it. Kind of dropped all of its leaves. You only live once. YOLO. And same thing on this guy. Don't know what that is. The leaves are looking kind of crispy. It's been kind of hot. But this area that I'm going to put them in, there's more shade, and I can also cover them up while they're pups. I probably should cut this out of this, but I do kind of want this 15-gallon. This is what we're kind of looking like. There's a wall here, but there's plenty of, this is a more shaded area next to the seating area. I used a little, my little drill buddy to get down there that I'm going to get my shovel in there and get this open. I generally like to transform the soil first over like a year or so, but I didn't do that over here. These rocks are so annoying. But as you can see, it gets pretty blockage from the sun. I have a little bit of sun here, and then it'll get blockage on this other side. So that's east to west, or west. This is the west facing area, and sunrise in the west sets in east, so it's going to cover that way. So this should be a nice area with this west-facing wall. Let's get a better vantage. So this place, it gets a little bit of sun. It should get dappled sun. I should have bananas growing up on the opposite side that gets more sun. So I think this is gonna work as long as they survive the transplant. Got these holes digged out a little bit more. I am gonna add a little bit of the mycos and myzos. Let's get this planted. popped in there. I hope that didn't disturb the roots too much. If there was a way to not disturb them, that was the way. The other one's going to be more difficult. So you never want to pull these out directly by the trunk. You want to kind of let them fall out. I really should cut this out. I know this is gonna be a headache. I hear some people say that they like to move things when the soil's wet. I hear some people say dry is better. I don't know. I do a lot of things in pots, so the whole in-ground thing is new to me to an extent. I try to think about what I'm gonna do before I do it and do what makes sense. So we'll see what happens, but in this case, I'm choosing the moist method. And I'm pretty much just taking off some of this extra until I can see the roots a little bit. And I'm just putting it on top dressing the other one. I'm gonna see. And there's also mulch and stuff on here, so that's what's going on top anyway. Here we go! Well, that can't be right, can it? Not only did that not go well, but... Hey, look at these roots. Maybe the root's really fragile and it removed some of the roots. So this probably isn't going to survive, but we shall see. I'm just gonna move some more native soil in here since there's less root. I want it to be higher up. I want it to be slightly above grade. Having this fake grass is nice in a way, or turf, or whatever you want to call it, but at the same time it sucks because I really can't plant anything in ground. I mean, I'm doing well in pots and thankful for that, but in the end I would like to have like an acre of land of just that I can just mess with instead of this turf.
Back out, Nathan.
Backyard takeover.
One of these mornings, let's grow. Vibe.
I am mixing some of the soil that I make in here. There's nothing that decomposes or anything of that nature in this soil. It's basically, you know, rock type materials and whatnot. Decomposed granite is the closest thing to the type of soil that we have here, but you can also use sand or things of that nature. But I am trying to get as much of that in here as possible, mixing in the native soil as well, but at the same time I want to make sure that it's aerated. Decomposed granite is aerated. It holds water a little bit better than sand does, but at the end of the day, either one works. And again, our soil sucks, so I'm going to add some mycos and some azos. Azos boosts with the growth of the plant. Mycos is like mycorrhiza. It allows the plant to take in nutrients. Our soil really doesn't have much of that. I can't believe how small these roots are. But you want to have the mycos directly on the roots as close as possible. I mean, it will spread. And they'll kind of get like these little beads or whatnot around the roots, and that's what allows them to take in more nutrients. It's a good bacteria. There's good bacterias and bad bacterias. I don't want to add anything that's going to decompose around here. And the idea is that this soil is going to be mixed in with the native soil, and I'm trying to have it so that it's good soil around the roots, which will give it time to establish. As the roots grow out into the native land, theoretically what's going to happen is that soil is going to get harder and harder. This rock landscape doesn't help. The fact that the soil is made with so many rocks, that doesn't help in a way, but at the same time that does give it some aeration. But the soil sucks. There's no downplaying it. There's no bugs or anything in it that is gonna bring life over here or anything, so you gotta do what you gotta do to make it right. But you don't want to just add a bunch of like bagged soils or things like that. You don't want them to be completely complacent, and then they get to, a lot of times what happens from what I've read, because I don't do a lot of things in ground, is that people will plant something and then it's doing fine, and all of a sudden it dies. And I believe that's from the roots not being accustomed to the type of soil that's there. So by the time, so it's in great soil, then it gets to the native soil, then all of a sudden it can't handle that. So if you make a gradient, to me that makes more sense. Going a little bit to a little bit to a little bit, it gradually changes versus going to something that all of a sudden it's going from like 0 to 100. You can't forget your worm castings. Love it. I'm just gonna get this covered up with as much native soil as I can. Try not to keep too many rocks in here, but that's what the soil is. And then I'm gonna get a gate over here, or for at least a little while I'm gonna get like a shade cloth over it. But that's pretty much it for this one. Let me know, has anybody else had any experience with these in these hot climates? This 9B desert, if you've ever grown pawpaws. I'm adventurous, and if there's a way to do it, I'm gonna do it. I think gardening, when I was talking to a lady at Home Depot, she's like, only crazy people do stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but to me, this is what gardening is. It's having fun and doing things adventurous and figuring out ways to get some of the things here that you don't necessarily can get. I mean, anybody can grow a tomato and things like that, but I want to bring something different to Vegas. It just seems like a lot of the Vegas market is just so doom and gloom. I don't know why places like Arizona have big gardening scenes, but we don't. Now let me talk about the farmers market. Don't get me started. Anyway, let's grow.